Okay, so the next area that we'd like to talk about together as a team is, I just want to make sure that you have the right part of the agenda.
Yep, I think it's right here.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure you were able to see it on our agenda. So the next part is tools and software. We call it assistive technology. And so really what that means is to make sure we're setting her up for success so she can benefit in both her special education and her general education curriculum. And so I'd really like to talk a little bit about her special education and the services that I provide, and then I think we could hear from Mrs. Woodward in terms of what's it look like in her classroom in the general education setting. So I know that she is doing a great job accessing her special education services and her content in there. I do wonder about some of her ability to read some of what's being in print in some of her courses. And I have such a small group of students that I am able to assist her, but I guess I'd be particularly interested in what it's like in a bigger classroom. And Mom, if you see anything at home in terms of her accessing her printed text, I'd like to hear from both of you.
Maggie has just been such an awesome student in my science class, like we've talked about, and she seems to really enjoy it. I see her get really excited about participation. She wants to learn about the concepts in science. But when it comes to reading the text, which is a part of the class, she really does struggle. So I see her asking for my help in reading a lot. I see her, there's a paraprofessional who supports another student in class. So she's sometimes going over and trying to ask that person for help in reading, or she's just not reading. And again, I really love her love for science. And so I want to keep her motivated and excited about the subject. And so it would be nice to see her have something she could bring with her into class that just helped her access that information so she can keep learning the content, because it does really hold her back.
Yeah, I noticed that at home too. There was a babysitting class that she was going to register for through community education, and she had a really hard time kind of like with the information in the catalog. So I can see what you're talking about.
We could assist. There are tools and strategies and software that literally can help. A computer can read the text out loud to her.
I've heard about that. I think I have some coworkers that use it once in a while.
Yeah. Yep. So we could add that, which I think would be great. And also, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I have one other student in at least 3 of my classes that is using that type of technology, and it's working really, really well for them.
Great.
Yeah. And they're using headphones. On my other students, are able to use headphones at times in instruction. So I think it could be a really good thing. And I'm very well versed in using that within my classroom, so that, again, she can access the reading and not miss the content.
Great.
I also do wonder about, and I'd like to know, just in terms of her writing and being able to write out at a quick enough speed where she's not like losing her thoughts in her head and having to restart over. A lot of our students, I want to make sure it's captured as we're rolling out Chromebooks, but I'd like her to have access to utilize essentially a Chromebook, a word processor, some way for her to be able to, when she has projects in science or when it's a writing class or reading class, where she's able to utilize that to get all of her thoughts out, as opposed to a paper, pencil, and writing information out. I think she's got just great knowledge and content, and it's just making sure she can get it out in a way that feels pretty familiar. And honestly, word processing and texting on your phone, all of those ways are going to be so familiar to her as an adult, that I really think that that's something that we as a team should think about adding.
Well, I know when she texts, she talks into the phone because there's a voice, there's ability to use like voice recognition to send a text message. And she gets real frustrated when she has to type out text messages. So maybe that could help at school too, if you have something that.
Let me look into that though. I've got a couple of colleagues that are just really top notch and well versed in this. But thank you. That's really good information.
One question I have is if we implemented that, the writing support with the Chromebook or the voice to text, would that have a component for her to check her spelling or to flag misspellings for her? Because that is one area, there's in science especially, there's a lot of vocabulary, and that's one of the things that gets her kind of stuck in class is how things are spelled. And she has to put in a lot of effort into kind of figuring that out.
I could see that.
So I'm just curious, would that be part of that program?
Yeah, I think,
Some
that's
word
awesome.
prediction.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a lot of the Google Docs and things have that word prediction in there just now, even if she starts typing it out, gives that, or we'll give some tools. So yeah, we can make sure she has that.
Supports. I think science she'd just flourish.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Amazing. Okay. Thanks, everyone.